SLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
Coming right up, another fun Varsity Sports Show.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hi, kids. This is DJ Soulman from the Funk Junkies, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show with my man Vince Delicio. And what's your last name?
It's Delicio.
Okay, that's right. That's what I thought. Yeah, right.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. My name is Vince Delicio, and we hit the road this morning. I left the studio in Phoenix and headed down to beautiful Tucson. That's a lot for me to say, being an ASU guy, but I'm saying it because I'm amongst a big family down here that are tailgating this morning. You guys tailgating? You guys having to get to? Yeah, you hear that? Yeah. It's like 6 people. And we're all tailgating down here, getting ready for a softball state championship. It's the game that never ends. We've been down here 3 times already to broadcast this stinking game, and it keeps getting called. It rains 10 days a year in Arizona, and this week it's rained every night down here in Tucson. The field conditions have been such that they've had to continue. They've either postponed it or called it. The other night they called it in the top of the second inning. We had a crew down here, and they decided, the wonderful folks at the AIA and Empire and Sabino rescheduled the game to Saturday morning, 10 a.m. It is sunny out here. I am out at Cherry Field off of 13th Street and something here in Tucson. Sitting outside, getting ready to go in. And actually, I have a co-host for this segment. He didn't know this until about 5 minutes ago, but he is one of the tailgaters here from Empire. His name is Eddie. Eddie, how are you?
Good. I'm good.
Do you have a last name?
Peace.
Peace. Eddie Peace. There you go. Okay. And you're here with your family?
Yeah, family, friends.
Okay, family and friends.
Other parents of athletes. Yeah.
Okay, and you are our expert on all things Empire.
Easy with experts.
Yeah, so we're going to get some information about the Empire Ravens and this school, this newish school down here playing for a 3A softball state championship, and then we'll talk about the rest of the show. So let's talk a little bit about Empire. Obviously, you have a child on the team?
Yes.
You have
Ava
a daughter
Peace.
on the team?
Yeah.
Ava Peace?
Yes.
And what position?
She plays second, a little bit of outfield, third base.
Okay, and they're the number 2 ranked team right now. They lost a game earlier in the season, a real close, hard-fought battle back in, I think it was April 3rd, to this Sabino team that they're replaying today for the state championship.
Yes.
Yeah, Sabino coming in number 1. But I think that was the only loss on the season for Empire.
The only loss, yes.
Wow. So talk again. We'd love to get one of the coaches here. We're waiting on Coach Shannon Woolridge here shortly. There was an assistant coach that disappeared on us. Yeah. That maybe she could talk about the Coach Allie. Come on over here, and let's get some information. So, Coach Allie, last name please.
Curtis.
Allie Curtis. Coach Curtis. So, Coach, how long have you been working with this team?
This is my 4th season.
Wow. Okay. And today's appearance, this week's appearance in the longest drawn out state championship series in the history of mankind. What was it a surprise?
The appearance or the week?
No, well, the week, yes, was a definite surprise,
Yeah,
but the appearance.
Definitely not. I know our girls we have an amazing team this year, one of the best in Empire history. You can ask Coach Shannon. He would say the same thing. So not a surprise at all. They earned it. They've worked hard. They deserve to be here.
Talk a little bit about the strengths of this team. Obviously, you got to put it all together and play a complete game to make it to this point. Some people talk about luck, opportunity, but when you've won every game just about, there's a little bit more involved than just luck. But what have been the strengths of this team?
I really think our biggest strength is our team camaraderie and culture. The girls get along so good, and they have worked hard to build that together. Obviously, they are fantastic athletes and really good at their position sports, pitching, hitting, but their bonds together and how they work for one goal has been incredible this season.
What's it like working with a group of teen girls? I mean, that's got to be tough.
I
have a teen. I have one at home.
It's definitely not easy, but I think we're really lucky with these student athletes.
Yeah.
Young women, they are fantastic people. Working with teenagers in any age, I was a teenager.
What advice can you give a dad that struggles with a teen girl that maybe gets a little rambunctious? Just deal with it. Get her in softball.
I don't know. You have to ask my dad.
So okay. Any particular? I mean, they're all standouts in your opinion, I'm sure. But any that we should expect a big game from today?
Obviously all of them, but Kendall for sure. She is fired up.
Who's pitching?
Kendall
Freidinger.
Yep.
Okay. Wonderful. And she is only a sophomore.
Yeah, it's incredible. She is such a hard worker. She's going to do big things.
I'm looking at your roster here, top to bottom, and there you have one senior. Senior day must have been a
two
hoot.
seniors.
Two seniors. Yeah. You're right. Two seniors. Okay. Gosh, I mean, I'd say the future looks pretty bright.
Oh, yeah.
Once we get past this week, if this game doesn't get postponed either into next season. But this is incredible. Talk a little bit about some of the opportunities that these girls may be having at the next level also. I know we're not thinking about that today, but there had to have been some college coaches that are kind of, kicking the tires on the team, seeing what's out there.
Oh, I can imagine. I know our two seniors are committed to playing college, and all the rest of our girls, I know they will definitely have great opportunities in the college level.
Awesome. Well, that's exciting. And you've had an opportunity to see a little bit of this team that you're facing today in Sabino. What can you tell us about this team?
They're good. They've been good the last few seasons. They're scrappy, but I know that
you guys are going to win today.
Oh yeah, if we play our game, we're winning.
Yeah.
Sure.
Don't worry. None of them listen to this show. So we're up in Phoenix, but that's awesome. And then after this, talk a little bit about waking up tomorrow. Obviously, you'll take a break. Tell the girls take a break from softball, but club softball is really big in the off season. So how is that going to go? Do these girls tend to stay together on the same team, or
they're all separated between mostly two different club teams, but I know they're starting right away, right after this, since it's been so dragged out. They're getting right back to their club teams. I know there's a tournament supposed to be this weekend, but
if there's one thing that you could have done differently this season, earlier in the year, you're playing for a state championship, so I mean, there's probably going to be a few things, but there has to be one thing that you look back and say, man, I wish we would have taken advantage. Now, you lost to these guys earlier in the year. What was the takeaway from that game that you remember?
Takeaway from that game, I think, is just we need to play ourselves. We came in a little tense, and I mean, it showed a little bit, but I know we've learned from it. And I think, although we wanted to win that game, of course, it's always good. Sometimes blessing in disguise to have that, so we know, right? We know we need to play ourselves. We know what we did wrong, and we're coming out firing today.
Who's your leading hitter?
Leading hitter, we got so many. Callie Drabaw's our leadoff hitter. She's been stellar for us. I mean, 1 through 9 has been awesome. Angie Daler has been pretty solid as well.
Yeah.
Morgan hits a lot of home runs.
Everybody, our listening audience knows how much I love athletic directors. I say that a little sarcastically, but your coach is AD and coach. How's that balance been?
He is incredible at what he does. Balances it fantastically. I know I also work for the school at Empire, and working with him at the athletic director side
Sure.
as well as the coaching side has been great. He is all around great person, great AD, great coach. So it's been awesome.
Awesome.
Working with him.
Great. Well, Coach, good luck today. Good luck this morning. We're looking forward to getting this game done,
Yes.
as I'm sure
So
you guys are.
We are so ready.
I can't imagine, the practice, the week of practice when you come off of a postponement
Yeah.
and then do you go hard, you go easy.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that like?
The last 2 days we took it easy, just staying loose with our girls, making sure we're hanging out together. We made it light and fun because they're ready. We didn't need to go too hard. They're ready for today.
Okay. Well, Coach, we'll let you get back to your team.
Thank
and do me a favor, Coach. Again, first and last name, please.
Allie Curtis.
Allie Curtis. Coach Allie Curtis, assistant coach with the Empire Ravens, playing for a state championship in 3A today, the game that has never ended. Hopefully it comes to an end today on what has been an amazing season. Coach Curtis, thanks again
Thank you.
for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. The team is just pulling up in the bus here, the Empire Ravens. And, wow, what an incredible day out here at Cherry Field in Tucson. They're all decked out. The team in white, the Ravens, red and white. They're getting off their bus right now. Hopefully we'll have a chance to speak to Coach Shannon Woolridge, who should be getting off the bus here shortly. And, guys, I'm going to talk a little bit about today's show. So we've got a great show, and I'm down here. The reason why I'm down here is that I'm calling today's game for the NFHS Network. I'm really excited to have this opportunity. This is the final sporting event for the AIA in the school year of 2022 to 2023. So I get to close things out. David Hines, I'm sure you're excited that the guy that's calling the very last game for the AIA is this guy. So it's a lot of fun. I'm going to have a blast calling softball today for 3A. It's Sabino and Empire. And as we had talked about earlier, this game got dragged out this week. It got rained out twice earlier in the week. We had a crew down here working the game, calling the game, and they brought me back today. So looking forward to getting this game done, getting it called, as it is the final game. Okay, let's talk about today's show. Today's show, we got a lot of things happening. First of all, we're going to introduce you to our brand new summer intern team. We've got some interesting personalities, some interesting people, very talented that are going to be journalists that are going to be joining us for the summer, that are going to be joining you for the summer and taking this show in a wonderful direction. We have Austin Hapola from the Cronkite School of Journalism. He's a senior, and he'll be joining us this morning, calling in and introducing himself, talking a little bit about himself. We have Brooke Early. Brooke is from the University of Arizona. She is a sophomore, and she is on the diving team for the U of A. So we're going to talk to Brooke, and she's actually in Hawaii right now, so she'll be joining us. The Empire team is walking by me after getting off their bus. And then we've got Connor Ackerley. Connor, you may know, is he's the quarterback out of Corona del Sol, arguably top 5 quarterback. I think he's one of the best in the state of Arizona, and he'll be a senior this year out at Corona. He's joining us this summer as a broadcast intern, and so you'll hear from him this morning. Guys, thanks again for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. Looking forward to bringing you what is an amazing show here from Cherry Field down in Tucson, where it's the site of today's 3A softball state championship. It is Empire versus Sabino. Going to be a great day this morning. Thanks again for joining us. We've got an all-star lineup, and more to come on that when we come back from the break here on the Varsity Sports Show. Don't go anywhere. Go Varsity.
Bringing you the latest sports topics weekly right here on KDUS AM 1060 with me, the Doug Gottlieb Show, 1 to 3 p.m.
Hey, this is John Linton with the I Have a Name Project, and Let's Be Better Humans. You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbeterathletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind. Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com.
Your morning drive just got a little better. The Dan Patrick Show is live weekday morning starting at 6 exclusively on KDUS AM 1060.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show here on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio live from Cherry Field in Tucson, host site of today's 3A state championship softball game between Empire and Sabino, and joined out here at a tailgate with a couple of the families. A lot of fun. Had a chance to hear from coach from Empire earlier, previous segment, talk a little bit about her team. Hopefully we'll catch head coach Shannon Woolridge as well here shortly. But joining us on the line, wanted to welcome the head football coach at Horizon High School. Horizon, as you know, we partnered up with them last year, brought you their games, and just a year off of a state championship, and year number 3 for Coach Andy Litton. Coach Litton's joining us on the line right now. Coach Litton, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Coach, you're a Tucson guy, right?
Yes, sure. Yeah, I went to
Mountain
View down there.
Oh, there you go. So I am, I'm out here. It's quite the vibe. A lot of families, a lot of spirit for this 3A state championship softball game between Sabino and Empire. You a softball fan, Coach?
I am, yeah. I went to U of A, so if you go to U of A, you've got a big background in softball.
Yeah, okay. So, Coach, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your spring, your season, and going up into the summer. How did things play out for you? You had a senior-heavy group this past year, and now you're retooling, getting ready for another season. How was the spring for you?
It was great. We were really senior-heavy more on the offensive side of the ball. On defense, we returned 7 of our 11 starters, so we were able to rock and roll. We had a great fortune in finding our new defense coordinator, Sal Coletto. He's done a great job getting our defense ready to go, and I thought we had a really, really productive spring.
Talk a little bit about the quarterback position, and you had some success there. You were a pretty run-heavy team last year also, but what can we expect for 23?
Yeah, so we try to be as balanced as we can, but last year we ended up running the ball a little bit more just because that was our strength. But, yeah, we got 2 young guys that are looking to battle out for the job, Chase Ashley and Zach Jones. They've done a great job all spring. One's a little bit more of like a runner, true like dual threat quarterback, and the other one's more of a big pocket passer. So they both bring different things to the table, and we're really excited about how they're going to battle this summer and who's going to win it.
Your tight end, Matt Klopfenstein, obviously heading off to Baylor. That guy was a machine, and I don't even know if you're going to run a tight end this year because it's hard to replace somebody like that. But who do you have waiting in the wings there?
Yeah, so I'm super excited about Jack Markovich. He is a tight end that got a little bit of playing time when we went in our 12 personnel 2 tight end set. He just got an offer from Cal Berkeley on Thursday. He's going to be really good. So we're tight end U at Horizon High School. We've had now 4 of them straight that have played that position and played on in college, or at least we expect Jax to. And so we're really excited about Jax, and you'll see him do a lot of the similar things that Matt did in terms of spreading him out a little bit, working inside the box, and even playing a little bit with his hand in the ground.
Awesome. Your defense, you've had some standouts defensively, and it seems like it had been fairly consistent year to year in your time there. What can we expect on that side of the ball?
You can expect a group of guys that just fly to the football. I'm super excited about this group just because if you look at them, they play as a true unit. And like I said, Coach Coletto's done a great job getting them ready to go and going into summer. It's headed by our inside linebacker, Carson Kolb, who just got his first Division I offer from NAU on Thursday. He's a big, tall, 6'3", 215-pound guy that can move. And then we also, right in front of him, we have our defensive MVP from last year, which is Jackson Murray. He's a one-technique tackle that really can play two gaps and cause all kinds of problems for other offense. So those two guys, we return our entire secondary, and so we're pretty loaded on defense. I'm excited about it.
I'm excited as well, Coach. It'll be an interesting season, and with the schedules having been, I think they've been published. I know people have been sending them out. I don't know that the AIA officially sent them out, but tell us a little bit about the league this season overall, and what we can expect with some of the opponents that you've got coming.
Yeah, so we're in again. I think that they put us in the toughest region in 5A, which is where we believe we belong. So we're with Desert Mountain, which is a heck of a football team.
Oh yeah,
the reigning 5A champs, Higley High School. We are also Notre Dame Prep, which was finished, the top seed in 5A, and then Cactus Shadows, which is got a great young group of guys that coaches really kind of got turned around. So that's our league. And then ALA Gilbert, which is a 4A state champion.
Sure.
So that's our region play. And along with, we again play Pinnacle, Millennium, which has always been a really close game for us the last couple of years. Canyon View, which is a team that made the playoffs. That's who we actually open up with. Willow Canyon, which is also a playoff team. And then we get to game week 2. We get to play at my alumni school, Miranda Mountain View, down in Tucson, which I'm excited about.
Nice. Now, you had mentioned the new defensive coordinator. Any other staff responsibilities shifting around? Who are some of those guys that, you obviously can't do it alone, and some of the guys that have been with you since day one also?
Yeah, so probably the one that's taken on a little bit more of a leadership role now that Coach Wierson moved on to coach in college is Tyson Ditmore. He's really more of my assistant head coach. He's also our special teams coordinator, coaches our safeties, and he's incredible. And then I really rely on Jeff Carranza, who's my wide receiver coach and really assistant offensive coordinator. He does a great job. He's kind of taken on a little bit bigger role in the offense in terms of play calling and responsibilities, as I can kind of now try to step away and do a little bit more on everywhere. So.
Nice, Coach. Coach Andy Litton joining us from Horizon High School. Coach, the some of the other activities that you have coming up this summer, now that you wrapped up spring ball, when are things going to restart for you, and what kind of things you got coming?
Yeah, so we are in the I think the best start to the summer that everybody wants to go to is we're in the Gotta Believe tournament that is hosted at Scottsdale Complex. So we're doing that May 27th.
Okay.
We're also going to NAU in their 7-on-7 tournament, and we're bringing our big guys there too. And then we make the trip to San Diego State in June I think 10th, and that's a really cool tournament where we'll be able to compete with some of the best teams in the West Coast.
Awesome. And then you've got camp on the tail end of July. You'll be heading to, is it Camp Shadow Pines again?
Yep, we enjoy Shadow Pines a lot, so that's where we're headed to.
Okay. Coach Andy Litton, Horizon High School football coach, congrats, and looking forward to working with you this season. We had a lot of fun. The families out there at Horizon been great to work with as well, so looking forward to it, and thanks again for the opportunity.
I appreciate it. See you again.
All right, Coach Andy Litton joining us on the line, on the Varsity Sports Show hotline there, and from Horizon High School. This is year 3. You talk about a guy that's stepped into some pressure. His first season, first of all, he was out at Hamilton High School. He was the offensive coordinator. gets the job at Horizon, first year, wins a state championship, and then comes back last year, advanced, I believe it was into the quarterfinals, and now they're coming back year 3 and some higher expectations. And you heard it direct from him that they've got some talented young people filling shoes for that team, for that Horizon team. So let's talk a little bit about today's show. Once again, guys, I'm down in Tucson, out at Cherry Field for today's 3A state championship softball game. We are going to be introducing our talented intern team joining us this summer with the Varsity Sports Show, and stay tuned with that, because we've got some others that'll be joining us a little later in the summer. We forged some partnerships, and we're going to present an interesting spin to our intern program, our broadcast media intern program, with some exciting fresh new faces that'll be joining us a little later in the summer. So today on the show, we are going to be joined by Saguaro SaberCats baseball coach Joe Mickey, coming off a state championship appearance for him and his men of character. We've got Brittany Boyer. We're bringing back Lit with Britt in the next segment, so stay tuned for that. We are going to be Britt is putting together her season-ending awards, and she'll be honoring coaches, players, and athletic directors. That's exciting. So Lit with Brittany, one of the most talented journalists that I know, does a lot of freelance work and is just out there. If there's a game going on, chances are you're going to see her sitting up in the bleachers with a notepad and a voice recorder, getting ready to take some notes and correspond. After that, we are going to be joined by, as I said, our talented young intern team that are joining us this morning throughout the show. The 9 o'clock segment brings us, let's see here. Brooke Early will be joining us. She's down at the University of Arizona. And we will also be joined by a good friend of mine. As you know him as the guy that does the surfing report, the Beachin' with Beal Southern California Surf Report. That's been a nice little segment that we've done the last couple of years, and what started as a report on the surf and the beach in Southern California for our Arizona audience turned into a roast session that Mike will tend to throw out some great zingers, and I try not to give him too much credit. I don't want his head to swell up too much about it. But anyway, looking forward to hearing from Mike and some other surprise guests as the show goes on. Once again, guys, out at Tucson Cherry Field for the 3A State Softball Championship. Here in the next few minutes, they're going to allow me in to kind of get my bearings and get set up. We've got the broadcast this morning. Talented young producer will be joining me, Lofton Lechner, who will be directing today's game. And then we'll also have University of Arizona softball player will be joining me on the call today, Allie Skaggs. Talented softball player down at the U of A will be joining me to call today's game, so looking forward to having Allie join me. And, and we've got Aaron in the studio. So, guys, thanks again for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. Once again, when we come back, we are going to be joined by Brittany Boyer with Lit with Britt. We'll be giving the season-ending awards, and she's got a couple of interesting ones, so looking forward to chat with her more about that as we go on today's show. And thanks again to the families that are working with me out here today out at Cherry Field. It's the Empire Ravens playing for a state championship against Sabino. When we come back from the break, don't go anywhere, guys. Thanks again for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. We'll be right back.
Hey, Phoenix, Doug Gottlieb here. I'm bringing the best sports talk weekdays to you 1 to 3 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060.
Hello, sports fans. This is Dick Stockton, and you are listening to Arizona's home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
Locally owned and operated, the Angry Crab Shack is a restaurant that specializes in seafood boil with Asian and Cajun flavors and the freshest seafood in the valley. The Angry Crab Shack, with multiple locations around the valley as well as locations in Tucson, Casa Grande, and Yuma. Feel like eating at home? Then go to angrycrabshack.com and order online for pickup, or find us on DoorDash to get Angry Crab Shack delivered right to your home. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and online at angrycrabshack.com.
What's up, everybody? My name is Austin Hepola, and I am a senior attending the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University. This summer, you will get a hands-on experience from me right here on Varsity Sports Show. My goal is to showcase the amazing sports communities scattered throughout the entire valley. As an Arizona native myself, I plan to give these communities the proper light they deserve. I look forward to delivering the most authentic and genuine stories for you all these next few months. Until next time, take it easy.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 6 to 9 a.m.
This is just something I like to call breakfast.
With big-name guests, timely sports information, and more on KDUS AM 1060.
It's Lit with Brit, featuring local sports journalist Brittany Boyer on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. And now, here's Brit.
This is crazy. Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. If you guys truly knew what we're doing right now, somebody with a golf cart would come by and pick us up and take us. We have to walk like a quarter. Now, it's probably closer to a half mile, Eddie. You're carrying all the stuff. I'm walking with a microphone and our my broadcast unit here to connect us to the station. And we're walking, it's like a half a mile out to the softball field. Joining us on the line, we're bringing back Lit with Brit. I'm down here in Tucson, Cherry Field, state championship 3A softball game between Empire and Sabino. And we have Brittany Boyer. Britt, how's it going? I'm out of breath. How's it going, Britt?
It's going great. Vince, I need you to breathe for a minute. Take deep breath. You sound out of breath.
This is crazy. I was here at 7, and they wouldn't let me in. And so, I found a nice family. We were able to set up. They were tailgating. And then they said, you got to get in there. We got to set up for the broadcast. So I am literally like speed walking. I'm not jogging because I would be passed out. But anyway. All right. So, Britt, we brought you back in a big way because we wanted to go through and present the season-ending awards. You have some interesting ones in there.
I do. So today's segment for It's Lit with Brit is going to be kind of wrapping up this year, our end-of-the-year awards. Some of these were really hard to decide on, and I'll kind of walk everyone through how I made my decision on who we nominated and who we picked. So, yeah. Do you want me to just dive right into it?
Yeah, let's. What's the first one?
All right, so I want to start with the Boys Athlete of the Year.
Boys Athlete of the Year. Okay. Now, criteria. First of all, let's talk a little bit about the criteria because you had some really specific criteria. This is not a popularity contest.
No, it's not. So I was looking at. I wanted to find a student athlete who participated in a minimum of 2 sports, but I was really looking for 3. And so I ended up landing on Deuce Robinson as my Boys Athlete of the Year over at Pinnacle. He played football, helped Pinnacle make it to the 6A state championships this year. He also plays basketball, and he plays baseball. So He's a 5-star recruit. He signed with USC for baseball. He's got such a bright future ahead of him, and he is our pick for the Boys Athlete of the Year.
Amazing. So he opted for baseball, and who knows how long that'll last? What do you see from what you've been following his career? How long do you see him in college?
I'm not sure. I feel like it depends on each kid and what their main objective and goal is. So, some kids want to get in, get out. Some kids actually want to go there and get their degree. So it will be interesting to see what he decides to do.
Okay. Deuce Robinson, the Lit with Brittany Boyer, Male Athlete of the Year. Who's next?
All right. He might actually be playing football there, or maybe he's doing both. I'm not sure. I do know he's a 5-star recruit, though. But
Okay.
I do want to touch on that.
Okay.
Then I want to do Boys Team of the Year. So I was going to give that to Basha Bears football. Open Division champs this year. They had an absolutely outstanding year. I don't think you could have asked for them to have a better year than they had. And, they pulled it off. They beat Saguaro in the Open. They were able to upset Chandler. So some really, really big wins for that team this year.
Okay.
Moving on, we have the Girls Athlete of the Year. I think it goes without saying this one was actually probably one of the easiest awards and decisions to make. Rylan Bourget down at South Point Catholic. Now, I don't know if anyone knows very much about her, but she's a 3-sport athlete.
Wow.
This year she only did 2, but for the other 3 years of her high school career, she did all 3. She helped South Point win an indoor beach volleyball state championship. She won a couple soccer state championships with South Point, and then she also helped them win 3 beach volleyball state championships. So she graduated with 7 rings, and she's going to be joining the Sun Devils next year to join their beach volleyball team, and her 2 brothers that play on the football team.
I got to ask you this, because this is a growing sport, and particularly at the collegiate level is in beach volleyball. Have you had a chance? And ASU has a beach volleyball team. I got called to go and PA announce a couple of their matches. Have you been out there?
I have not, but I've heard that the new facility is absolutely beautiful. I've talked about going out to a couple of their matches, and I've just never been able to make it out. But it's on my list of things I want to do and things that I'm going to try to do in the near future.
You really have to, because it's an electric environment, but you also have to bring a chair with you, because it's all sand and you'll be sitting in the sand, and which isn't a bad thing either. But and they water it down, but it is fun. It is a fun sport. It's exciting, and it is so refreshing to see a decorated athlete that's venturing into a growing sport like beach volleyball. She has to have the most championship rings over a 4-year career right now of any active high school student athlete. I can't think of anybody else that's won 7 state championships. That's amazing. Multiple sports too. So.
Yeah, and I don't know the last time someone would have won 7. You know, so that's a pretty amazing accomplishment in itself.
Yeah. Rylan Bourget out of, is it Bourget?
Bourget
out of Tucson South Point Catholic High School, which just last week won the 4A state softball championship. So
yes, they did.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
And actually, fun fact about Rylan, she played softball up until she was starting high school, and then decided she wanted to venture into beach volleyball instead of doing softball. So she also is a baller and can play that sport too. And she played flag football when she was growing up with her brothers and helped them single-handedly take down some pretty big teams in Texas. So she's just an all-around athlete.
Amazing. Okay, who's next?
Then I have our girls' team of the year, and I'm going to give that to the Desert Vista girls basketball team. Now, they were the Open Division champs. They played in the toughest bracket at the Nike Tournament of Champions and had some pretty big wins. They were headlined by freshman Jersey Robinson, who is absolutely outstanding. If you haven't had a chance to see her play yet, make sure you do, because she will wow you to death. Their coach did actually just step down. He said he felt like he's accomplished all that there is to accomplish on the high school sports scene, and he's actually looking to take a step up and coach college. But,
awesome.
Yeah, Desert Vista this year was just absolutely phenomenal. They looked unstoppable, and it's going to be interesting to see what they're able to do next year, because I think they're still going to be a really strong team.
It's interesting, the motivation when you're a freshman and you get all those accolades and are called, the best at your position or the best in this sport or the best in that sport. And I mean, what's the motivation to continue, to come back? You know, that's the challenge. And for someone like Jersey Robinson, who, you know, is obviously very talented, we interviewed her post-game. She was our player of the game in one of the games that we did earlier in the year. And it takes a real special personality and somebody that obviously stays grounded as well to do that. So that is amazing.
Yeah. So
who's next?
Next, we have the Boys Coach of the Year. Now, I'm giving that to Wolfgang Weber, the South Point boys soccer coach. He won his 10th championship with the team, and it was their third straight title. They took down Saguaro. It was mostly a second-half battle between the two of them. But, you know, it was an absolutely outstanding game, and he has built himself quite a resume, not just in Southern Arizona, but across the entire state.
You know, we did one of I think we even did their championship game down. I believe it was in Tucson, and it was rainy, in fact. But had a chance to chat with Coach Weaver. He was very memorable because this guy he loves to talk. He loves to give his team praise. He's a very humble guy, but he also will, you know, he deflects a lot and just I mean, if we'd have been out there for an hour, he'd have filled the whole time, and we just didn't have that kind of time. But he just loves praising his athletes and his kid, you know, his kids, his coaches, and it was just all around very humble guy, very good guy. So that was a good pick for Sal Point Soccer. So awesome. Okay.
Now,
anything else you want to add on Sal Point?
I'm going to circle back around to that.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I have one more before I get to that, and it's going to be our Girls Coach of the Year. And it's actually another Tucson coach. And, you know, this is another one of those awards that was kind of hard to come up with and choose a winner or who we thought we were going to give the award to. And it might just be because this was fresh in my head. But I got to go with Kelly Fowler, the CDO softball coach.
Okay.
She was able to take, now last year her girls made it to the state championship. They ended up losing to South Point. However, she was able to take the girls back to the semifinals this year with an entirely new team from last year. I think she might have only had 6 or 7 returning players on the entire roster. So it was a huge turnaround, a huge change from them, and they made some drastic improvements throughout the year, especially from where they started at. So that, I want to give credit to her and her coaching and what she was able to do with them, because that truly was a great coaching job.
Awesome. Okay. Who do we have next?
So wrapping it up, you asked if there was anything else about South Point.
Yeah.
I'm going to wrap it up, and the athletic directors never get any sort of recognition or praise that they necessarily deserve.
But do they?
So they're the ones.
Yeah, but Britt, do they deserve it?
Yes, they are the ones who make everything happen.
Okay, all right,
They're the ones in the shadows that we don't see. They put in a lot of really long hours.
Yeah.
They're a lot of times on the sidelines at events, but they're not as visible as some of the other people on the sidelines. Yeah. So for this year, the athletic director of the year is going to go to Phil Gruenfelder from South Point Catholic. The Lancers won 6 state championships this year, and they competed for even more than that. You know, year in and year out, his teams are some of the best athletic teams in the state that bring some of the highest level of competition into, you know, onto the competition floor, into the arena of whatever the sport may be. And, you know, he's just kind of the man behind the curtain that's making it all happen, you know, and he brought in some great coaches at South Point that have helped really turn things around. Like, for example, Joseph Luovano was a great hire for girls basketball. Before that, they really did not have any girls basketball success, and he's helped turn that whole program completely around to where they're state champion contenders every year. So
that's, you know, and all kidding aside, and you know, I have a great love and respect for athletic directors, and there are a few that I have really, really close relationships with that I consider them good friends that have, you know, helped me through the years, and that deflect a lot of attention elsewhere. So there's a good, and there's a strong list of honorable mentions in there. I'm sure that had to have been a tough list to come up with, Britt, because there's so many of them are so selfless. So yeah,
it was tough, but I had to go with Phil. You know, 6 state championships is no joke, and it's not like they just do this one year. This is a year in, year out type of deal for South Point. So to be able to bring that level of coaching in and, to do what he does is pretty awesome.
Brittany Boyer with Lit with Britt. Thank you, Britt. Coming back in a big way and looking forward to talking to you again on the regular here. We'll be back in a couple weeks with you. Brittany Boyer, thanks, Britt.
Thanks, Vince.
All right. Guys, when we come back from the break, stay tuned. We'll be right back here on the Varsity Sports Show. A lot coming.
KDUS AM 1060 is the home to the Dan Patrick Show, the Doug Gottlieb Show, and Sports Map Radio. Catch all the sports content here on AM 1060.
Hi, this is the Director of Community Engagement for Hospice of the Valley, Lynn Sue Cooney, and you are just not cool if you are not listening to the Varsity Sports Show, the home of youth, high school, college, and you on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Chris Scott of RE/MAX is Central Oregon's best realtor for anyone thinking of a vacation home or relocation. He's our very own born and raised Phoenician who moved his family to Central Oregon nearly 15 years ago. Contact Chris if you're thinking of exploring beautiful Central Oregon. It truly is living at its best. 541-999-5614. Proud partner of the Varsity Sports Shows, it's Dylan. Coaches, the Varsity Sports Show wants to be part of your team in 2023. We have a proven track record of providing the most coverage of your teams with Thursday and Friday night football. We will spotlight your players with multi-camera game broadcasts, pre- and post-game interviews, and segments on our Saturday morning radio show. With over 100 games broadcast in 2022, we will be exceptional for your team. Call, text, or email 480-220-4629 or info@varsitysportshow.com.
Catch the Doug Gottlieb Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and online at KDUS1060.com.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio joined live out at Cherry Field in Tucson for today's 3A state championship softball game, dubbed as the game that never ends. Joined by head coach and athletic director Shannon Woolridge from Empire High School, the Empire Ravens. Coach, first of all, welcome to the show. Congratulations. You got to be excited.
Thank you. Yes, excited to finally get the game in. It looks like the weather's going to cooperate for us today.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you very much. We've had a great season.
Coach, it rains in Arizona 10 days a year, and this week, was 7 of those days. I mean, what is going on out here? Could we have picked a worse time to have a state championship game?
Yeah, definitely the weather was not in our favor. Certainly very frustrating. Part of the frustration is just, we weren't quite prepared for the rain.
Yeah.
Tarping the field ourselves and, that whole experience. So, yeah, that part of it, not just the rain itself, but then not being prepared for it either.
You guys are coming into today's game 29-1, ranked number 2, and that lone stumble in April to this team that you're facing today, which a narrow loss 2-1. What'd you learn? What was the takeaway from that game that you think is going to help you today?
Well, I think we learned a lot about just approach and the importance of taking it pitch by pitch and living in the moment and not getting caught up on the what ifs. If I don't perform or if I don't get my job done, dealing with a negative consequence, because it's a game of failure and we're going to fail. So it's more about just living in the moment and taking it pitch by pitch.
Wow. Yeah, I've never looked at it that way, but game of failure. Okay. Coach, you've been doing this a long time and had a lot of great teams come through. You opened the school, right?
No, I did not open the school. The school opened in 2005. I came over as AD and head coach in 2013.
Oh, okay. So, but you've been involved with a good number of teams the past few years. What's different about this team?
Honestly, the difference is, I feel like in most years our culture is really, really strong, and our togetherness and our ability to unite around the cause is normally really strong. This year it's just on another level. These kids are more united than any other group we've had. We have a ton of talent. obviously, and it's just a matter of just trying to maximize that talent. And I think the way you maximize that talent is with a strong culture, and I feel like we've been able to pull that off this year.
You have 2 seniors on this team. The future bodes bright. Obviously, you're not looking beyond today, but in the back of your mind, you got to be looking beyond today as well. What does the off season look like for you after today's game?
Well, after today's game, as far as, off-season workouts and things like that, most of the girls are on their separate club teams. I've got a few that play on my club team, so it's more about, keeping them busy, playing competitive ball throughout the year, and we have a number of kids that do that. And we'll start meeting again with them, come September, October, start working on that culture piece that I talk about, because, we can have the most talent in the world, and we can know how to play the game, more than anyone. But if our culture isn't strong, then we fall short of our goals. So we focus as much on that as anything beginning in September, October.
All right, Coach Shannon Woolridge, congratulations, Coach, and looking forward to calling this game today. I'm excited. I'm going to be calling the game for NFHS Network, and thanks for allowing us out here to have access to talk to you, and good luck, Coach.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
All right, Coach Shannon Woolridge, Empire Ravens head coach and athletic director. Coach, thanks again. And they're playing in the state championship game here for 3A. They face Sabino, number 1 versus number 2. Joining us on the line, brand new member of our team for broadcast media for this summer from the Cronkite School of Journalism. His name is Austin Hapola. Austin, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Vince. How you doing?
Good, man. So welcome to the team. Welcome to the show. I know, we've obviously chatted a few times leading up to today, and very excited to introduce you to our audience. You're a talented young journalist and have a bright future in this thing. And I want to get right into it. I want to talk to you because I wanted to spend this time for our audience to get to know you, for you to get to know our audience. What can people expect from Austin Hapola this summer?
That's a great question. Going to the Walter Cronkite School of ASU, they build their students up. They do it the right way. It's a very well thought of school for journalists. And, I just want to show the audience that, I am genuine. I want my work to be authentic. And, I just want to get out in the community of Phoenix and Glendale and wherever it may be and raise the awareness of the community.
You are a senior this year, so what are some of the activities that you've partaken in the last couple of years academically through Cronkite? What other things have you had exposure to aside from what you're going to be venturing into this summer, which is going to be far different from anything you've done in the past?
Right. Yeah, I've taken a variety of classes to help me get to this point. Some very interesting ones, including like a podcasting class this past semester. I've taken videography classes, which, you get out, go to football games and, learn how to operate the camera and learn how to, set the settings right and white balance and all that fun stuff. I've learned how to, do actual sports writing as well. Kind of all the trifecta, of sports journalism.
You grew up in the Phoenix area. You grew up in Glendale. You actually went to high school a stone's throw from Cardinal Stadium there at Raymond S. Callis. What was it like, being a Valley native and going to Cronkite, where so many of the students are from other places?
It's truly a really great opportunity. I've always wanted to go to ASU. Early on in my high school career, Callis is sort of a smaller school, but we do have a good bunch of us, attending ASU, and it's just great to see, all of us grow together, and and the Cronkite School is just amazing. I walked in there my junior year when I transferred over. Initially, I was in Tempe, and ever since then it's just been 1,000 miles an hour. But it's just been a great ride all along.
In growing up out here, do you have other siblings? Do you have any family members that work in media? How did you end up settling on journalism?
Yeah, no, I am actually a first generation college student. So, first in my family to do it. I do have younger siblings who plan to go to college. So that should be exciting. But I've always loved sports. I never really played in high school. I've always been interested in the journalism side. So I was in a journalism club my junior and senior year when they first brought it on in Kellis. So I got that first taste of, covering football games and basketball games and all that sort. And I knew I've always wanted to work in sports after that. So, when it was time to choose colleges, I obviously, ASU was like the top choice because, ASU has well thought of sports, programs and journalism programs. So, yeah, I knew I wanted to work in sports, and I knew I had to work hard to get through that. So, I got my grades my grades up in high school, and got my scholarships for ASU, and here I am now.
So just so you know, some of the things that you're going to be doing with us this summer is you're obviously going to be co-hosting the radio show. You'll be getting out and about and finding some stories. That's the biggest part of journalism, is getting out there and kind of having your ear to the ground to find out what is going on, and not just, by the time the story hits the airwaves, it's too late, and trying to develop those relationships with people in the community to help tell stories. You're a storyteller. So what are some things that interest you this summer that you think you'll be bringing to the audience?
It's kind of interesting because with the summer internship, you would expect there's not many things going on for high school level sports because everyone's out for summer and all that. But
yeah.
I think it's a good challenge to have. Like, you could go out and find other stories, maybe other kind of unique niche stories. I know you mentioned to me that there's a basketball tournament going on next month in the Cardinal Stadium that I'm very looking forward to.
Yeah, Section 7, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a very, very cool opportunity, and not necessarily like on the court or on the field, sports related, but
mm-hmm.
I like to do stuff like behind the scenes too, like why are they doing these tournaments and who are funding these tournaments and all that. Maybe speak to some higher up people and get to know how these tournaments truly impact the students. I think that would be a very cool way of looking at things. So kind of stuff like that, not exactly full on sports highlights or on the field stuff, but also stuff around it and how it impacts the community and how it impacts the lives of these students.
What do you want to do? I don't know if you get that question very often, but what do you want to be? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do, Austin?
No, yeah, that's a good question. If I'm being honest, I would love to have a show like you one day, like just
really
host a radio show.
So you're not setting the bar very high, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I'm kidding. We've got the top show in the nation right here on the
no
Varsity
doubt.
Sports Show. So, yeah. That's awesome.
No
Austin Hapola, Cronkite School of Journalism, going into your senior year. We are so excited to have you join the Varsity Sports Show team this summer. We got a lot of great stories to tell, and you're going to be doing a lot of digging. And guys, I want our audience to be as proactive as possible. If there's a story to tell this summer, bring it to us. Let us be your storyteller. Let us talk about what's going on. And while we don't entirely view the world through rose-colored glasses, we leave the negative stuff out of it. We tend to focus on the positives. There's too many people out there making a living on telling bad things going on, and you don't need to catch that on a Saturday morning on our show. And that's why we draw the audience that we do, is because we keep it positive on the up and up, and we really want to spotlight all the good things going on out there. So, Austin Hapola, any final words you want to leave our audience?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say, prepare for me to get working, and I hope you guys, really enjoy my content. It's got to be authentic, it's got to be genuine, and I think the world of sports journalism is kind of lacking that in some aspects. So, I really want to bring the light on these communities and show them how impressive they really are.
Awesome. Austin Hapola, new team member for the Varsity Sports Show this summer. Austin is from the Cronkite School of Journalism, will be joining us, bringing his stories to you. Thanks again, Austin. Guys, when we come back from the break, we'll be back with Connor Ackerley, quarterback at Corona del Sol and Varsity Sports Show team member. We'll be right back. Go Varsity. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming.
The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
Broadcasting from the Superbook Sports Studios, KDUS AM 1060 Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat. In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hello, this is local voiceover model and former Daddy Yankee stunt double, Mario Malaby. Be sure to DM us your questions for Ask Lucas on Twitter. And you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show, hour number 2 here on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio live out at Cherry Field in Tucson, host site of today's 3A state championship softball game. It is the game that never ends. This game has been, you live in a state where it rains literally 2.5 days a year, and this week we saw more rain than what was expected, and I guess they wanted this game to truly be the final game of the academic year for 2023. We're joined, we've got a lot of great things coming up. Connor, stay on hold for a couple minutes. We'll be right with you, but we're joined by one of the moms from Sabino High School, the SaberCats, and it's Allison Nielsen. Allison, good morning.
Good morning.
Allison, so your team is ranked number 1 in the state. You're 29-3 overall. You played these guys, this Empire Ravens team, back in April, beat them 2-1. How are things going to be the same today?
Oh, I think it's going to be a very similar game. So these two teams are really tightly matched up. It's a great rivalry in our region, so it's fun to be able to play this as a state championship game. We've faced Empire the last couple of years in the semis, and so we really feel like this is a legitimate state championship we're having with our friends down Houghton.
So softball aficionados would look at your team and they would say, gosh, that Sabino SaberCat team, they are blank. Fill in the blank.
They are awesome.
Okay.
So we have a great group of girls, a lot of seniors this year on our team who will be graduating. A lot of them will be going on to play college ball, which we're really excited about. And then we've got some young up-and-comers, so we're super thrilled with that, too. So
I am counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks like 6 seniors on this team.
That's right.
Your opponent today has 2, and they're a much younger team overall. What do you see in the squad that you're facing today?
Really good young talent. So I have the pleasure of knowing a lot of the girls from Empire because they play club ball with my daughter who plays for Sabino.
Okay.
So, and actually later today.
What's your daughter's name?
So later today. Am I still connected?
Yeah, you are. Okay. What is your daughter's name?
Avery Nielsen.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to make sure. And okay.
So she's the pitcher for Sabino, and actually the pitcher for Empire is one of her club teammates. So they're facing each other this morning, and then they have the pleasure this afternoon to go and play with each other up at a qualifier in Phoenix as their club team. So
wow,
it's going to be a fun-filled day of softball.
Keep them hydrated because it is going to be a toasty one today. And now, granted, I've got olive skin, but it's still going to be hot today. So anyway, but well, good luck to you guys, to you girls, and in today's game, today's state championship game. I'm hoping that the weather holds up and we get this game over with.
Blue skies right now. We're hoping for the same thing.
All right. Allison Nielsen, a mom from Sabino. The SaberCats playing in today's 3A state championship softball game. And mom to Avery, a sophomore who will be pitching today. So thanks again and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Guys, joining us on the line, we've got another new team member for the Varsity Sports Show. He'll be joining us this summer, a young budding broadcaster, and he's also a pretty darn good football player. His name is Connor Ackerley, and he's out at Corona del Sol High School. He'll be a senior this year. Connor, how you doing, sir?
Doing good today. How about you?
Not too bad. You know, down at you should be down here calling this game with us. So I hear you're quite the baseball expert, according to your dad. Is that true?
Yeah, I played baseball since I was, since T-ball. So I know a thing or two about baseball.
You know a thing or two. So what do you like about the game? I mean, I know, you're obviously a pretty darn good quarterback too, but what is it, if you had to say, man, if I want to be a baseball player the rest of my life, what is it about baseball that you enjoy?
It's just it's a big mental game.
Okay.
So that mental wear and tear that it has on you, it can be a struggle. But then in the end, it's like very rewarding because when you succeed in baseball, it feels 10 times better than probably any other sport, just because of the amount of failure you have to go through in baseball.
What position did you play?
I played shortstop.
Oh, okay. All right. Now let's transition to your playing career on the other field, the football field, and you're a pretty darn good quarterback. And you come from a football family. I know I kid your dad. Your dad was an offensive lineman, but you playing quarterback. How has that experience been out at Corona?
It's been great. Starting freshman year, came in with my class, and we've all grown together. So it's going to be fun to see, how we play our senior year after, all 4 years of playing together.
It's such a tight-knit community out at Corona. It's rare that you see, because you see a lot of students that, at other schools that transfer in from other places across town, but it seems like a lot of the Corona talent is homegrown, and you're good. Why is that? I mean, do you guys start playing it together at a young age? What's the formula been out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's been, a lot of our guys went to middle school together. We've known each other since, 6th, 7th grade. We've played with each other since 7th or 8th grade. So, I mean, it's been 4 or 5 years of playing together and getting to learn how each other plays and how to play off each other. And it's all going to culminate into this season.
You dealt with a coaching change last year. It was a pleasant surprise. It wasn't a surprise that there was a coaching change, but it was a pleasant surprise on who you guys got. You only got the Arizona Cardinals Coach of the Year for high schools, and that happened to win a state championship down at Casa Grande and built that program from the ground up. What's it like playing for his family makes a pretty good pizza too, but Jake Barrow?
Yeah, it was last year. It was great getting to learn from him and learn how he likes to call plays, how he decides what play to call. It was great to just pick his brain, and it was just refreshing to be around that offensive mind.
Well, he's also kind of a fun guy. I mean, he tends to keep things loose as long as you get your work done. He lets you. I hear music during practices. I mean, how has that change been different? Has that been refreshing? Has that been, has anybody lost focus as a result? I mean, what was that like?
Yeah, no, it's been pretty refreshing, and our guys do a pretty good job of, keeping focus. They don't let the music bother them. They stay on task, and when we stay on task, we tend to have fun when we're doing the sport we love. So
yeah,
Coach Barrow's definitely unlocked. Coach Barrow's definitely unlocked kind of that part of the game.
Well, he is. He gets it. He's been there, so he's been to the mountaintop, knows how to get you back there, and that's the objective this year. A lot of good things coming. What can you give us in terms of a projection on the 2023 version of the Corona del Sol Aztec football team?
I mean, it's still early right now, but I mean, obviously we got a lot of guys returning this year. Pretty much almost our whole receiving core is coming back this year. We've got some good linemen coming back this year. Our defense got it's going to be a lot of seniors this year. So I think with an experienced team that we have this year, I think we're going to do some good things.
So the other thing that you got going is you're a budding young broadcaster, and you're definitely interested in pursuing this career path. And I've heard a lot of great things about you. I've had conversations with you about it as well. What can we expect from you this summer?
I'm gonna do everything I can to bring people content, bring people good fun content that they want to hear. Interviews with some of my fellow teammates, maybe some people I might be playing against. Obviously, as someone that is in the high school world right now, and I'll be traveling to camps and stuff, I'll be able to do features and hits and stuff like that at each camp I go to. So it'll be some content at camps and stuff that people probably haven't seen before.
I'll tell you what, that behind-the-scenes stuff is what I'm looking forward to among many things that you're going to deliver to our audience, in that, you're really going to give us a perspective. Not only are you, going to be reporting on the camp, but you're participating in those camps. So you could talk to us a little bit about the grind, about what you liked about it, maybe even about some of the coaches that you encounter, if these guys are good guys or if they're, duds. Are there a few duds out there?
There's a few in every area.
Yeah,
but they
okay.
tend to all be good guys.
Yeah, no, of course they are. They're all good guys, particularly if there's a lucrative scholarship attached to their name. So for you, but anyway, so we're excited. We're excited for you and for you joining the Varsity Sports Show team. This is going to be a lot of fun, Connor. I'm really looking forward to it, and having you join us, and we're really going to take this thing to another level this summer. They tend to say that things slow down in the summer, but we're going to ramp it up and really do a lot of good things in reporting and storytelling this summer. So Connor Ackerley, senior quarterback for Corona del Sol, and also broadcaster with the Varsity Sports Show team this summer. Connor, thanks again. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, guys, we are out at Cherry Field in Tucson, host site of today's 3A state championship softball game, dubbed the game that never ends. We are out here with Greg, who is an Empire fan. Greg, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Greg, what are you doing here?
Well, this is the round 3, so
yeah.
The first one did never start. The second one went through the first inning and ended in, or they called it in the second inning. Yeah. So we were, we're just at this point. This is a quest to actually see the game, so we wouldn't miss it.
Now, are you just a random fan? You're wearing an Empire hat. Are you a family member? Are you a friend? What's your relationship
here? My son is on the varsity baseball team.
Oh,
so he's out here supporting, of course, their softball team. So
okay.
Nicholas,
I see the guys
over there.
Yeah, they're all painted up.
They're all painted up with their.
I hope they have sunscreen too. There's a couple fair-skinned young men out here, so they're going to
might be feeling it later.
Yeah, they're going to be screaming tomorrow. Well, Greg, it bodes to be an exciting morning. It is the final game in the sports season for the AIA this year, so there's a lot of significance attached to it. I'm honored. They dubbed me to call this game. I don't know why. Maybe the handful of other people weren't available, but I'm going to bring my best to this game, so I'm looking forward to it. And
awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having you as a fan.
Thank you very much.
All right. Guys, that's Greg, an Empire Ravens fan whose son is on the baseball team. They're out here supporting everyone in full force. Guys, when we come back from the break, we've got more show. We are going to be joined with the SaberCat Report. We have Saguaro High School SaberCat baseball coach Joe Mickey joining us for the final time this season for the SaberCat Report. He's going to give us a postseason wrap, state championship summary, game summary, and looking forward to hearing from Coach. Mickey, and we got a lot more show going after that. So definitely stick around, guys. Got Aaron Decker in the studio running the board. We'll be back after the break here on the Varsity Sports Show. Go Varsity.
Interact with Bob Kim's poll question on KDUS1060.com. That's KDUS1060.com. And while you're there, check out Bob Kent's bottom line at KDUS1060.com.
Hi, this is Rob Maggs, Vince's life coach and surfing coach to the Beach Bum Beal. You're listening live to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS.
Chris Scott of RE/MAX is Central Oregon's best realtor for anyone thinking of a vacation home or relocation. He's our very own born and raised Phoenician who moved his family to Central Oregon nearly 15 years ago. Contact Chris if you're thinking of exploring beautiful Central Oregon. It truly is living at its best. 541-999-5614. Proud partner of the Varsity Sports Shows, it's Dylan. Coaches, the Varsity Sports Show wants to be part of your team in 2023. We have a proven track record of providing the most coverage of your teams with Thursday and Friday night football. We will spotlight your players with multi-camera game broadcasts, pre- and post-game interviews, and segments on our Saturday morning radio show. With over 100 games broadcast in 2022, we will be exceptional for your team. Call, text, or email 480-220-4629 or info@varsitysportshow.com.
Extra Point with local and national topics, betting lines, and banter. Weekdays 10 to noon on KDUS AM 1060, KDUS1060.com, and the KDUS 1060 app.
The Varsity Sports Show presents the SaberCat Report with Saguaro High School baseball coach Joe Mickey. And now, here's the SaberCat Report.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. Joined live out at Cherry Field in Tucson for today's 3A state championship softball game. And we are joined on the line. This is the final game of the year, of the academic year for the AIA. It is the 3A softball state championship between Empire and Sabino. And we're joined on the line for the SaberCat Report for the final time this season with Coach Joe Mickey. Coach Mickey, how are you, sir?
Thank you for having me on. It's surreal that we're at the end of all of this, another spring run here.
It is. It's very surreal. I mean, it just seemed like yesterday that we were talking about, kicking off the season and getting the game schedule put together and a broadcast schedule, and it's been quite the partnership. And, Coach, from the bottom of my heart, before you start to talk about anything else, I wanted to thank you personally for accommodating us and giving us the opportunity to continue to grow our show and to develop young talent.
It's a mutual feeling of just appreciation and respect. You got a great staff and crew, and take a lot of pride in what they do. And you can tell it's just much like the field. When you put a lot of preparation time in, and you have something that you love doing, it kind of showcases through their work. And I definitely feel that vibe from your whole staff and the young people who love to get better at their craft.
Your dad has his own parking space there at Saguaro. What's a guy got to do to get a space? Can I get a space? Can I buy it from him, kind of sub? Because I've never seen your dad. I think it's just more ceremonial than anything. But either that or he just doesn't use that space.
Well, you might not have seen him, but you probably heard him, Vince. I tell you
okay.
He's definitely one of the louder guys out there. I know I hear him outside. We did that as kind of our golf, as a golf raffle, as auctioning off a space, and he wanted to make sure he came to quite a few games this year, so he definitely wanted to make sure he had his parking space in lieu, but we can work on something for you guys. Definitely want to take care of you as well.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Always accommodating. All right, so, Coach, big event for you last week. You played in a state championship game. You faced a really good Canyon Del Oro team. What I would like you to do is take a kind of a different approach today and give us a kind of a blow-by-blow, inning-by-inning breakdown as for what you felt was significant events in that game. Talk about that game.
Yeah, no, and it was an awesome experience, right? I mean, the lights are on, and you have a couple thousand people there, and I knew nerves were going to be an issue, but from the get-go, they came out. The top of their lineup was really good. Cade Kumar did a nice job keeping them off balance. They had a big hit in the first inning, which was a triple, and that kind of set the tone for them in that first inning. And then we kind of had a fluky play where a ball gets kind of lost in the lights for their second run, and the only challenge with that is I knew you needed to score runs, but they were going to be at a premium. And so for us to kind of be down 2 in the first was a little bit disheartening. But the boys, we came back out and we took great at bat, and at the bottom of the first, we go first and second with one out. We have a little bit of we had a scouting report on their guy that he wasn't going to pick a whole bunch, and sure enough, he picked 2 or 3 times with the first couple guys on, and I think that probably caught us a little off guard, to be honest with you. And so to their credit, they kind of did one move ahead of us at that point, and and then in the second inning, they found a couple of spaces that we weren't, and so they were up 4-0 early in the game, and but we settled in, and once we settled in, I knew we were going to have a chance to kind of scratch and claw back, and unfortunately, we hit probably about 5 or 6 balls right on the screws against a really good arm that were just right at guys throughout that game, and all the way to the last inning. I mean, we hit a ball that goes to the wall, and their guy runs it down at the warning track. And I go, it's just one of those nights where, you could do everything right and still not get rewarded. And that's a hard feeling as a coach when you just watch your guys have good at-bats and stay patient in the box. And their arm on the hill was really good in Lucas Casey. And but we matched them. I mean, to our credit, Cade and Billy and Cam Nitty came in, and we didn't give up another run the rest of the way. Our defense played fantastic, and I think that's all the things you hang your hat on as a coach is say, hey, let's play our best baseball and see what happens, and that's what happened. And unfortunately, we just came out on the wrong end of that outcome.
Yeah, and to their credit, obviously they Canyon Del Oro put it together and got the win, got the championship. You guys had an amazing season this year. You found yourselves down in the postseason. You fought and battled back and got yourself into the championship game. So all credit to you and your staff. And the other thing that was most impressive about your team is you're such a young group.
Yeah, no, you nailed it. I mean, I think it gave our guys a big taste of the kind of, we call it the three-headed monster, right? It's the mental kind of fatigue that might set in, the physical fatigue, and then the emotional. And so that understanding what that takes and understanding kind of where we're at as a program and what it means to be in the end is understanding just all those components and to play 34 games, it takes a toll on you at the high school level, and these guys got a taste of that, and so hopefully coming back, I'm excited for them to honestly understand how close we were, and I think they all realize that, but then also know what we have in front of us, and so you're right. There's a lot of pluses there, and then we step back even further and say, okay, in the regular season and postseason, we lost 3 games, and it was to the 2, 3, and 5 seed. If you're going to say you have 3 losses on the year, that's a pretty heck of a good year, and so there's a lot to be proud of for this group.
Where do you go now in the off season? What's happening out there? How much of a break? I know you're not one that gets complacent in any stretch of the imagination, but what's next?
So we get our incoming freshman group going. So we kind of try to do incoming freshman summer stuff and get those next group of young Floral Baseball SaberCats ready to go for the month of June. They'll play a kind of a high school schedule of a couple games a week. And then for me, myself, really the month of July is kind of my reset with the family. They kind of have lost some of my coaches' time, and so we try to get up to Montana for a few weeks and truly try to recharge a little bit. That's where my wife and I got married, so it's just one of those nice. That it's a great opportunity for us to kind of, as a family, get back together and enjoy our time together there and get ready for the next school year. But from a baseball standpoint, we're definitely always preparing to go. And once August comes around, we're kind of an August to May full go type of a situation. So we're excited to get back on the field when that time comes. But there is something to be said for a little bit of that downtime and truly kind of rest in the body and the mind. And I know we have a bunch of guys who do quite a few things to maintain their level of preparation, and we keep their programs in check and understanding where they're at. And that way when they come back on campus, we're ready to kind of dial back in together and kind of get back rowing the boat.
Joined on the line by Saguaro SaberCat baseball coach Joe Mickey, fresh off of a state championship appearance of 4A state finals, facing Canyon del Oro, and of course Canyon del Oro coming away with that victory. And much congratulations to Coach Mickey for putting the season together that he did. Now heading off into the off season, Coach, do your kids recognize you?
They definitely have noticed more gray in my beard. No, they definitely. I think it's been pretty neat. Vince, to be honest with you, this is one of those years where they actually enjoyed being out at the field more and rooting for players on the field. And I get in the backyard and I'll flip the ball to them, and it's probably the cutest thing ever as a dad when they're like, "Hey, I'm Cam in this situation," or "I'm Lewis," and trying to pick out players in the lineup. And it's actually really just makes it kind of all that much more fun. And so I think they're kind of starting to understand what that looks like and keeping track of our win totals on the tally board in the kitchen, and just all the fun stuff that kind of makes coaching and family dynamics come together. And that's really what it's all about. All
right. Coach Mickey, Joe Mickey, Saguaro SaberCat baseball, with the final SaberCat report of the season. Coach, thanks again for joining us, and looking forward to circling back again next year.
Can't wait, Vince. Always appreciate you. Have a wonderful summer, and thanks again for all you do.
All right. And once again, guys, for the final time this season, the SaberCat Report is brought to you by Cheese Paws. Fast and fresh, healthy-minded Mexican for diners on the go. Expect all the classics elevated with the best ingredients and made from family recipes. Generations in the making. Located just east of Hayden on Thomas Road in Scottsdale. Find them on Instagram and Facebook. CheesePawsFresh.com. That's CHISPAS Fresh.com. Open 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday. Okay, guys, out at so you've been waiting patiently for me. We are joined by a young man who is he's a baseball player for and apparently a big fan of the country of Mexico. His name is Danny Dittinger.
Yes, sir.
Dittinger, you are out at Empire. You're wearing a big Mexican flag.
Yes,
you
sir.
got your chest painted with a big S. I guess you can't be with us very long because you're the S in whatever you're spelling up there. What are you spelling?
We're spelling EHS Ravens.
Ravens. Okay. And now, which S are you? Are you the S that comes after the H in EHS, or are you the S that comes at the end of Ravens?
I'm the S after EHS.
Okay. So if they don't have you, then that's a problem.
Yes.
Yeah, they need you up there.
Yep.
Okay. So how proud are you of this softball team?
I'm very proud. It's a good team. They made it a long way this season.
Yeah.
I've watched every game this season, and they've won like pretty much all their games.
Well, they have. They only lost one, and the
Yep.
one that they lost was to the team they play today.
Yep.
They lost to them 2-1 back in April.
Yes.
You think it's going to be a different outcome today?
Yeah, I think so.
Tell us about, because you play baseball, so obviously the similarities of the games. The ball is different, a little bigger. But what do you see in this team as being a strength of this softball team?
I see that they're very their chemistry is very good.
Okay, solid chemistry.
Because they're all really good friends, and there's no bad chemistry, and they're just a good team.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's exciting to hear, and all the fan turnout. Were you at the other two games that didn't get played?
Yes,
You were.
I was,
what was that like?
It was when we scored the first point.
Yeah.
It was very exciting.
Yeah.
But it was kind of sad when both of them got rained out.
Yeah. Now, in the last game that got rained out at the top of the second inning, do you remember what the score was at the time?
1-0.
Oh, so you were leading 1-0.
Yes, we were leading 1-0.
Wow. Now, with this game, do they have to start it over completely?
I believe so. That's what I was talking to the coach about. I believe
you're a little
they're
upset that
starting
they're
it
not.
0-0.
Maybe Sabino should spot you the one run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
we're gonna get it back. Anyways.
You'll get it back. Okay. All right. Danny, I appreciate you joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. People all over Arizona listen to this show, so you're on a pretty big audience. Anything you want to let our audience know out there?
If my mom's watching, I want to say hi to her.
Okay. And then why are you wearing a big Mexican flag around you? Is it to provide shade, or is there a particular symbolism behind it? Or
I don't know.
It's a beautiful flag.
Thank
but,
you.
Yeah.
I've worn it to every game I've ever been to.
So it's been a lucky charm.
Yeah, it's luck.
Okay, so we are with Danny Dittinger, who is a member of the Empire baseball team, and also you got the big S on your chest. That doesn't stand for Superman. You are the S in the EHS Ravens. You are the S in the EHS.
Yes.
Okay, Danny, thanks again for joining us on the Varsity Sports Show.
You're welcome.
All right. Guys, when we come back, hey, we're interviewing them all out here today. We're out at Cherry Field here in Tucson, host site of today's 3A state championship baseball game between the Empire Ravens and the Sabino SaberCats. When we come back from the break, we'll be joined by Brooke Early, brand new team member. She's also a diver out at the University of Arizona in Tucson. We'll be back after the break. Go Varsity.
Every Monday night, check out Ray Adams as he hosts the Monday Night Golf and Lifestyle Show from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
This is Carefree, Arizona Mayor John Crane. You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show hosted by Carefree's favorite son, Vince DeLisio, who was just awarded Carefree's Man of the Year and given the key to the city. Oops, I just perjured myself.
This is Coach Lucas Ramirez, and you are listening to the home of the Saguaro SaberCats, the Varsity Sports Show, on AM 1060 KDUS.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hey there, my name is Connor Ackley with the Varsity Sports Show. I am a senior at Corona del Sol High School where I play quarterback. I'm excited to bring you the content you want to hear and see over this summer, whether it be interviews, features, or co-hosting a show. If you want an exclusive look at the high school offseason and how to navigate it, stay tuned for all that and more. It'll be a behind-the-scenes look of the hard work that gets put in the summer to show you what gets put in the fall, winter, and spring. So tune into the Varsity Sports Show.
Check out KDUS AM 1060 on 100.7 KSLX HD2. That's right, HD Radio on 100.7 channel number 2.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio live out at Cherry Field here in Tucson, host side of today's 3A state championship softball game. It is Empire versus Sabino, part 3. This game has, they've tried to play it 2 other times. It got rained out each time, so this is, hands down, the final game of the academic year for 2022-23. It is going to be a heck of a game, heck of a matchup. I'm privileged to be on the call for the NFHS Network. First pitch is at 10 a.m. Our producer today will be Lofton Lechner, and a talented all-star cast. I'll be joined on the call by Allie Skaggs, who is a softball player down at the U of A. And joining us on the line, another Wildcat, member of the diving team, and also brand new team member for the Varsity Sports Show, Brooke Early. Brooke, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Well, yeah, of course you're great. You're in Hawaii.
I am in Hawaii. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So we're so excited to have you joining the crew this summer. Talk a little bit about your career. First of all, you're a Division I athlete. You're a member of the diving team at U of A. What all does that entail?
You know, I have been a diver for about 12 years of my life, and then I also have, parents who were D1 divers, and a grandparent that was an Olympic diver and a D1 diver. So they always pushed me to be in college diving, and that was always something I wanted to do. I love the sport. I don't want to just do it for the school and the money.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I looked up a bunch of these colleges. My coach, Dwight DeMay, is amazing. He actually dove with my parents when they were divers.
Wow.
So it's a big whole family. But being a college athlete is really tough, but you're around so many college athletes the whole time, so you're in it together. So,
yeah, it's a whole culture, but the grind is something that people on the outside just don't see. They turn on their TV or attend the events and just are there for a couple of hours, but they don't see all the time and effort that goes into it. It is literally a 40-hour-a-week job and then some, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. You kind of just get into the grind and you just keep going. You kind of forget the fact that people don't understand what it's like on the outside, but I love it. I know a lot of people do love it. So.
We are excited because you'll bring a pretty cool element to the Varsity Sports Show this summer. First of all, you're a student athlete, you're a Division I athlete. You attend the University of Arizona in Tucson, so you're going to have Southern Arizona covered. What are some things that we can expect from you this summer?
I have an inside scoop with just all the people, the sports, especially college athletes here. But I also have friends of friends who, are younger, too, in the community. So I think that would be super great to really get everyone involved in the community and really make it my own.
Awesome. We can't wait. We can't wait for the content and everything that you're going to bring to our show and raising the bar. You'll be co-hosting the show on Saturday morning a couple times throughout the summer, producing content throughout the summer, and we're just looking forward to that different element that you're going to bring to our show come starting next week, actually. So it should be fun. And how's Hawaii?
It's beautiful. It's been actually rainy a few days, but it's still warm, and the water's warm, and it's awesome.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, good stuff. Exciting. And be safe. Looking forward to having you join the team and starting next week. So that was Brooke Early from the University of Arizona, and she will be joining our team as a broadcaster this summer. Thanks again, Brooke.
Thank you.
Okay. Guys, we are joined in person by another Sabino SaberCat fan. His name is Joey Heron. He is also a student. Joey, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for joining. So talk to us about this team. This is the number one team in Arizona right now.
I mean, it's just it's so lively.
Yeah.
The chemistry is amazing. I mean, it's like anytime I go to a game, it's like 10-0, 15-0. It's just amazing. And the student section, to come along to every single game and just push them, and then the parents are amazing. It's just all that family.
Yeah.
It's just all like a family, which is really what I think pushes them over the top.
Big family environment. They've had, you mentioned some of those scores being a little lopsided, but the last time they played these guys, this Ravens team, they escaped with a 2-1 win.
Yeah, I mean, all credit to the Ravens. I mean, what a solid squad. I mean, I know some of the players on there, and it's amazing, and it'll be a tough matchup, but we'll see.
These two schools are only a couple miles apart, right?
Yeah, basically you just drive down Houghton one way, the other way, and you're right there.
And you're right there. Wow, interesting. So should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. And so you're pretty good on a mic. Do you also play sports at Sabino?
I golf.
You're a golfer?
Yes, sir.
Wow. So you don't really play a sport. You have a hobby.
Yeah, you can call it that.
No, it's a tough sport.
It is a tough sport.
It's mentally. A tough sport. What is it about golf that is the most difficult?
Definitely mental. The mental game is really tough. That's really what I struggle with.
Yeah.
And, I mean, my game's amazing. It's just sometimes you have to overclimb those mountains and everything, and that's really what is hard.
Yeah. What year are you this year?
I'm a senior.
And what are your plans next year?
I'm going to go to Pima, play golf next year.
Okay.
Hopefully a year or two. It really depends. And then my dream school is U of A, so I'd love to transfer there. And
so stay home.
There. Yeah.
That's great. All right.
Wildcat.
Wonderful. Well, Joey Heron, thank you so much, and good luck. Looking forward to seeing what you do on the golf course. So that's exciting.
Yes,
Thanks for joining us last minute. You did a great job on the mic. All right. If you're ever looking for an internship, give us a call.
I mean, I want to do sports management or something like this. So
yeah.
That might be something I look for.
Okay. Well, are you on Twitter?
I am.
All right. So to our audience, we are at Varsity Show. at Varsity Show. Get in touch with us there when you're down at Pima, and we may have an opportunity for you.
Sounds good.
All right. See, making dreams happen every day here at the Varsity Sports Show. So thanks so much, Joey. Okay. All right. So we actually have a special guest joining me on today's broadcast. It's Allie Skaggs. She is a softball player at the University of Arizona. You just missed Brooke. Brooke is a good friend of yours. She's on vacation in Hawaii, but thanks so much, Allie, for joining us. This is exciting. Have you called a softball game before?
I have not. This is my first
Oh
time.
my gosh, you didn't tell me that in advance. I just figured you were a pretty darn good softball player, so you bring a different perspective. You're going to do color this morning. I'm obviously I'll handle the play-by-play duty, so your insight is going to be key. What do you bring to the table in terms of things that maybe you look for in a game?
Yeah, you look for energy. That's what we're looking for today, especially in this type of game, state game. You're looking for players that are commanding the field. I think it starts in the circle. You're looking for pitchers that are going to command the zone early, get some outs for your team.
Yeah.
Players that commanding the defense. That's one thing that I pride myself on. When I'm on the field, I'm nonstop talking, nonstop moving around. You're looking for the people that are going to draw your eye to them, and so I think that this is exciting. My senior year, our state game would have been lovely to have, but COVID shut us down, and so now I get to live this through them, which is pretty great. And I don't know, it's cool to see it from a new perspective.
Where did you grow up? Where did you go to high school?
I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, but I transferred out to Ironwood Ridge my senior year of high school here.
Okay, so Oro Valley. All right, and so the vibe out here, the softball vibe, the University of Arizona softball community is a culture.
Yes, it is. People in Tucson love Arizona softball, and that's one thing that we love too. We feel the support everywhere. Like softball in general in Tucson is so big, and just to have the fans just rally behind us this whole year, I feel like this is the most love I've ever felt from Tucson, just in general, and our fans. And we never feel like we're alone in playing softball.
Do you ever pay for a meal when you walk into a restaurant? Be honest.
I do. I think that's some sort of NCAA violation.
But nobody's going to do
it. Hey, I'm not going to tell anyone.
Okay, there you go. See, I knew it. I knew that there was a catch. That was a definite perk of being a softball player down here. So it is a culture. And from somebody that's a public address announcer for the team up north, the ASU softball team, I've seen you guys play. You guys, it is definitely, you travel well. It's exciting, and you can score. That's a big thing that I've seen about your team. So a lot of fun. Do you obviously, having spent your high school down here, what do you know about these two teams, Empire and Sabino?
Yeah, I've heard quite a bit about them. We unfortunately didn't get to play. I don't recall playing either of them, but I know that, they're going to be competitive. That's one thing I'm excited about. Got to go out to the other state game the other night at Rita, which is so exciting, and just high school softball is something different. Like I just love watching. It's just pure passion. These two teams, I think they're going to bring it.
The last time these two teams played, now the team in purple is ranked number 1. The team in red is number 2. The team in purple defeated the team in red. Sabino beat Empire last time they played 2-1 about a month and a half ago. This game could be a lot different. We don't know. So.
Yeah, that's the thing with softball. You never know what you're going to get. And even looking at postseason right now with NCAA collegiate softball, you never know who's going to come out on top, who's going to show up that day, and so it can be day to day.
What do you know about the club scene down here? Because that's pretty big, and a lot of these girls play. These teams, they play together, and on the different teams. So did you do a lot of club softball?
I did do a lot of club softball. I jumped around quite a bit. Being from Kentucky, there were a few opportunities there, but I kind of had to travel to go play at the highest level. But I think my favorite thing with high school ball is that we all play together in club, and you play against each other, and so you finally get to go play against your teammates who may go to a different school, and so it's just competitive. And club ball, that's where you make your best friends, and you come out here and you play for a little bit of fun in high school, and yeah, it's nothing compares to club ball. That was the best experience of my life.
So I'm going to expose you to something very special in the next segment if you want to stick around. I know we got a game we got to call shortly. I've got the roster all set. We're going to be literally right there, so we're going to go from here to about 5 feet to call the game, so we don't have far to travel. So if you will stay on for the next segment, I'm going to introduce you to a segment that is unlike anything else in sports radio that is out there. It's called the Southern California Surfing Report with Mike Beal. So I'm going to introduce you to that. You got to stick around for it. When we come back from the break, guys, we are joined here live at Cherry Field in Tucson, host side of today's 3A state championship softball game between the Sabino SaberCats and the Empire Ravens. And I'm joined by my broadcast partner for today's game that we're going to be calling for the NFHS Network, Allie Skaggs. Allie is a softball player for the University of Arizona. Just finished up her senior year. Junior year. So you still got another year left, and to do some amazing things for the Wildcats. Guys, stick around. We'll be back with Beachin' with Beal after the break. Go Varsity.
HD Radio is here for KDUS AM 1060. Check out your favorite shows and games on 100.7 KSLX HD2.
Coaches, the Varsity Sports Show wants to be part of your team in 2023. We have a proven track record of providing the most coverage of your teams with Thursday and Friday night football. We will spotlight your players with multi-camera game broadcasts, pre- and post-game interviews, and segments on our Saturday morning radio show. With over 100 games broadcast in 2022, we will be exceptional for your team. Call, text, or email 480-220-4629 or info@varsitysportshow.com. In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hi, my name is Michael Beal from Costa Mesa, California, and I'm the only person other than Vince that got the honor of wearing his high school Letterman jacket. You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Ready to bring KDUS AM 1060 into your home with Alexa?
Hi, I'm Alexa.
Download the KDUS AM 1060 skill and enable. Then say, Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060.
This is where I start my day.
And now it's time for Beachin' with Beal. Random thoughts from a real Orange County, California surfer guy, Mike Beal. The opinions expressed during the segment in no way represent those of KDUS AM 1060 Arizona, the Varsity Sports Show, its host, or its listeners.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio live from Cherry Field in Tucson, host side of today's 3A State Softball Championship. It is the Empire Ravens versus the Sabino SaberCats. Joined out here by my broadcast partner who will be doing color for today's game, Allie Skaggs. She is a softball player at the University of Arizona in her junior year, and joined on the line for a special segment called the Beachin' with Beal, Southern California Surf Report. It has become an institution in and of itself. Mike Beal. Mike.
Hey, Vince, how are you? Allie, it's a pleasure to listen to you earlier. You're doing a fantastic job. I hope you get some more airtime in the future.
He's such a brown-noser. Mike, so where are you right now?
I am doing 100 miles an hour on the I-10 heading east towards Phoenix, and we're quickly approaching Blythe, which reminds me, I don't know if people still do it in Phoenix, but, every summer it got so hot when we were growing up in the 80s, everybody would go to Newport and San Diego, and I always remember you and your family would vacation in Blythe. And because you would always say, well, it counts. It's part of California.
It is. It's water, right? It is a part of California. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Mike, So you're driving to Phoenix.
I am driving to Phoenix to go out with my 82-year-old father to Avante's. We're going to do some fine Italian food dining, and whenever I go out to dinner for Italian food, it reminds me of your mother's expertise in the kitchen. I don't think anyone.
Oh, I think we lost Mike. Mike, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah,
now.
I'm here.
Okay, good. All right, Mike. What was your last? When was the last time you were out at the beach?
A few days ago. It's been pretty good. I last week I reported on the big southern. We got a big southern hemi swell unseasonably in California right now, in Southern California. It's been big. There's a place called the Wedge. It's the kind of the bottom half of Newport. It intersects the harbor.
Hello, Mike. Mike.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Am I back?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, the wedge, it kind of combos up and it forms a wedge, literally. And anyway, last couple of days, we've gotten an unseasonable southern hemisphere swell, 180 degrees from New Zealand, and it's been huge, double, triple overhead. So it's been exciting times at the beach.
Weather overall, still a little cooler, chance of rain out there?
It's Hawaii style back home. We got out of the car to go to the bathroom earlier, and I felt like I was walking into a microwave. But back home, I was playing pickleball 2 nights ago, and it was actually kind of chilly. It's your standard 60, 70 back in Southern California. It should stay that way for the next 6 weeks till we enter July Fry.
Awesome.
Where it gets to be in the 80s sometimes.
Yeah. So you're coming out here overnight. You're going to hang out with your dad. Sorry, Mike, we had the national anthem going. But anyway, you're going to hang out with your dad. Then you're going to head back tomorrow. When are you back at the beach? What? So I'm with Allie, and Allie is from Kentucky, but she's made Tucson her home for the last few years now. She hasn't had a lot of exposure to the Southern California lifestyle. What can you tell Allie to make it inviting for her to want to go and check out the beach, despite you being there?
Well, I would just first I would drive straight to Newport, which is the best beach in my opinion. But also the beach kind of speaks for itself. Once you get there, kick your feet up in the sand, maybe take a dip. You'll never want to go back. You will miss it when you are in Tucson and in Kentucky. You will think, "Gosh, I wish I was back in Newport." It's a place where dreams come true. Literally. They did for me, anyway.
Yeah, in what way? What dreams came true for you? Besides you, actually, yeah, because you landed on this show and you got your own segment. Mike, are you there? Driving through Blythe, I guess. He lost the connection there. So, Mike with the Beachin' with Beal Southern California Surf Report. Mike, last call. Hello. Mike. Okay. Anyway, so joined once again, we're out here for the 3A state championship softball game. Allie Skaggs, a member of the nationally ranked U of A Wildcat softball team. Talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you guys did this year in terms of, how did the season play out for you?
Yeah, the biggest thing is that I don't think that the scores reflected how talented our team was. We took a lot of beating, but our team was competing. That's the thing that you saw from us this year. It's just we had a lot of underclassmen and a lot of upperclassmen. Yeah. So it's a mix between a lot of freshmen, a lot of juniors, and the freshmen stepped up. That's all we can ever ask for. Our team was so competitive. We're energetic. Every single game we were showing up and we expected to win. That was the best part about this year, is that we didn't show up expecting to lose.
Playing in a conference like the Pac-12, I mean, the parity must be amazing. And plus, you've got a perennial powerhouse in UCLA also within your conference, and then ASU not too shabby. What has that experience been like in preparing you for a national stage?
Oh, yeah, the Pac-12, every team is good. There's no pushover teams. I think that's one thing that, especially last postseason, we learned is that the Pac made it into the postseason, and we made a statement, and we took a lot of the SEC teams out, which obviously we're very proud of that. And I'm glad that the Pac's getting some recognition. It's so good, just top to bottom, 1 through 9. You're never going to get a pushover team, and I think that that's one thing that we saw is that you never knew who was going to beat anyone. We all beat each other, and so there's never going to be your top 5, bottom 5. It's always it could fluctuate every single day.
What can we expect next year from the Wildcat softball team?
Yeah, a lot of the same with this year. We're going to compete a lot, but you're going to see the experience. Our team you're going to return a lot of freshmen that got a lot of playing time this past year. I mean, I look at the difference between my freshman year and my sophomore year, just night and day different because I got to play a little bit. And so you're going to see a lot of competitiveness. You're going to see a team that's fired up and a team that is ready to win and expecting to win.
It's definitely going to be exciting. It's going to be an electric environment to be a part of, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing just the team take the next step again, to get back there, to make some noise in the postseason. I think the time is definitely ripe to do that because of the rest of the conference as well, and how things are voting competitively. It should make for a lot of fun. Allie, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you get to situated. That's Lofton, and get you set up with a headset and all that good stuff. I'll be right over to call this game, and looking forward to having you join me today. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, Allie Skaggs, who will be doing color on today's 3A state championship softball game, and she is also a member of the U of A softball team. So thank you again, Allie. Joining us on the line, an old friend, Coach Ed Smith. Coach Smith, how are you, sir?
Doing great, Coach. We got this weekend off again, but we're excited to be back on the airwaves soon. Sounds like you got an exciting atmosphere going on around you out there with you today.
Coach, we do, definitely. We're getting ready to call a softball game, and what I'm going to do, Coach, is I'm going to hand it over to you to take it on home the rest of this hour. And thanks so much for joining us. Coach Ed Smith, take it on over.
Sounds good. So, we got a few exciting things going on with the show. We're off this week, as I mentioned. And I think next week we're off as well with Memorial Day weekend coming in. But when we get back, we've got a lot of great things to catch up on, including the NBA playoffs. Exciting stuff going on with Javon's Lakers down 0-2 to the Nuggets right now, as well as the Miami Heat taking a 2-0 lead on the Celtics, beating them twice at home. Golly. So we'll be catching up with the NBA playoffs. Also, the Suns are hanging there, the Diamondbacks hanging in there, currently 3.5 games behind the Dodgers. Didn't think they'd be doing this well, honestly, at this point in the season. How about yourself, Aaron? Where'd you see the Diamondbacks, kind of at this time of the season?
Man, I love watching them play. It's really good when a local team is having success. For so long, for the last few seasons, it's been tough with the Diamondbacks where they're just maybe not by this time of the year, but, in a few months previously, the D-backs have been one of those teams where you just kind of realize it's not going to happen. It's just so much better when a team is having success and you can just go to a game and you might actually see them win. I'm loving it so far.
Absolutely. Like I said, I don't know what my expectations. I thought they'd be middle of the pack, but here they are, only, like I said, 3.5 games out of first behind the Dodgers. Currently holding
2 minutes too.
Currently holding one of the wild card spots, so we'll be tracking them throughout the summer, and then obviously we'll be keeping up with the Suns. Obviously, a coaching change happening on that front, and we'll have to figure out where they're going moving forward. But that'll be. Currently, they have some different candidates in the loop, so we'll be following up on them. And then, like I said, just a lot of fun, even tracking these Cardinals, man. The OTAs just recently started, so we'll be tracking, everything going on with the Cardinals. The schedule, just recently released as well, so we'll keep up on that. And, I'll ask you this. We only have about a minute left, Aaron, but as of right now, the Cardinals do not have one game that they're favored going into the season. That's a not a great thing right now, huh?
No, yeah. I mean, honestly, though, with Kyler Murray being injured, and the way the Cardinals are looking right now, I got to say it just might be an act of kindness on the NFL for sports fans not to have to maybe watch this team this year. It just with the way they're looking, it doesn't look too good for them right now.
Yeah, exactly. So like I said, a lot of things to track with them as well. So appreciate Coach giving me a few minutes. Hope everybody has a great Memorial Day weekend. We will be off.
20.
We'll be back the following week. So until then, everybody be easy out there. Thank you, Coach. Hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend yourself, Aaron, and you and
10.
your family are well. So everybody, we will see you soon. Appreciate you, Coach.
Clear.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
Broadcasting from the Superbook Sports Studios, KTUS AM 1060 Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.